movies.
I have a question. Since
Yes.
my dad used to watch Martin growing up, whenever it came out, and
Nick is my guy, man.
and then he made me I used to watch it when it was on TV. I watched it with him. What was one of your favorite skits from that show? That,
I don't have no favorite. It's just a different muscle.
Nah, bro.
When I do TV, it's a different muscle than movies. When I did 30 Rock, it wasn't like a live audience. Martin was a live audience. 30 Rock was like filming a movie every day. There's no audience there. You gotta be funny to do that, to do movies. Ain't no audience. There's nobody you can react to. There's no reaction. You gotta know it. You gotta do it. Everybody can't do that. Then there's stand-up. That's a different muscle. That's you in front of, it's just, only thing between me and those 5,000 people is the mic. Is the mic. And anything goes into that, they react. So that's God working through me to them. It's just like basketball. They don't hear nothing when they're on the court. They're moving at the speed of light. So communication they moving at the speed of light when they out there.
Speed of light.
They moving at the speed of light.
Not that.
This is not like Last Chance U. Look like high school dudes out there. You ever watch that on Netflix? Last Chance? I love it. That black coach, I love him.
What's the name again?
But when you on the
basketball
pros,
one?
it's
I never watched the
different.
basketball one.
Never watched the
I've
basketball
only
one?
watched the
Bro,
football
you gotta
one.
watch
The
it.
football one is good.
Yeah,
With
the
the
basketball
white
one.
coach.
No,
with the
you-
white coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
no.
hilarious. He be
You can tell
snapping.
there's something about that dude. The football one,
Yeah.
those coaches, I think they getting off just yelling at black kids.
That
But
dude's
the
funny, I ain't
basketball
gonna lie.
one, the black dude, you could see he loved those kids.
Yeah, he cares.
And he loves the game.
They're not just young, they're immature. Two different things. You could be young. Look at Michael Jackson, 8 years old, singing that song. "Wah." Michael was very mature. He been here before. You got to think about, look at life. You got to look at life. Jesus Christ was the only human being on the planet that ever walked around the whole globe. So he couldn't go back to Bethlehem. They would look at him like he was something that fell out the sky. I can't go back to where I'm from. They don't care about my rep. They don't care about none of that. Life went on. You leave the ghetto, you can't take people with you. But I got my cousin with me, because my cousin's the one around me to go, remember when? There was a time it wasn't this. There was a time when I didn't have it, so I come for the projects. 212 Troop Avenue, the projects. Can't go back there. I go back there, I better not go empty-handed. I go back with tons of food and clothes and toys. And there's still people looking that I grew up with that hate me. Because when I first started, I had survivor's guilt. Why did I make it and some of my friends got murdered? You know why I don't really listen to hip hop like that or deal with the streets like that? Because that's where the trauma happened. My friends went to jail forever. Some of them died. That's why I was traumatized. It's hard. Where I came from, I lived right across the street from Marcy, Tompkins. And then on the other side was Sumner. So we had to hold it out on both ends.
When did you realize comedy was a way out?
My dad did stand-up comedy in Vietnam. I'm just mimicking my dad. My dad had more talent in his one pinky than I got in my whole body. He was hilarious. Then my other uncle, Fatty Love, Mike. Fatty Love got a whole family full of women pregnant. 3 sisters pregnant. Had the stinkest feet in the world. But I love sleeping in the room with him because he was the one, 2 o'clock in the morning as a kid, he'd get up and go in the kitchen and fix peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That was my Uncle Mike. So that's where I get my sense of humor from.
3 sisters. Can we go back to that for a second?
Charming. He's fat and charming.
Wow.
Fat and charming. That's where, this is where I get my sense of humor from my father and my Uncle Mike. And it's all in me. So when I'm on stage, I talk about growing up. And I inject my sense of humor into it. Make it funny. But it was really sad. It was really sad. My childhood was sad. And then I got to high school, and that's where I exploded around my peers, making them laugh in the lunchroom. People would cut class, 3 periods, 4 periods, just to laugh. Me and my boy Leroy snapping on each other. Snapping. But I would act my snaps out. Then I got into show business. 4 months after I went to the workshop, I was on Def Jam. I was on Def Jam. And my wife, God bless her dead, was at my show. It was our birthday, January 30th. My life. I got to tell you that story when I did Def Jam and I met Martin for the first time. Me and my boy Face Man, I heard him coming up. I heard Martin coming up. He said, yo, Martin coming up. Came up. And then we did it, did the show, and Martin gave me the mic. And when he gave me the mic, I patted him on the ass. It was a great pass. We ain't dropped the mic. But for years, I thought Martin hated me for that. I thought he hated me for doing that.
Did you you never met him before?
A couple of months later, he called. I took my son down to get on the bus. And when I came upstairs, my wife said, Martin just called. I said, yeah, right, Martin called. He said he called back in 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, he called back. And that was my first Martin. I flew out that night with my boy Jam. Went to L.A. And I did the Martin show. And I knew if I came off like a fat rat in the cheese factory, I could change my kid's life. We were still living on welfare, Section 8. I would go out there for a week, do the Martin show. And my father and my mom separated when I was young, so I would get out there, I would tear my hotel room up because I didn't want to abandon my family. And Martin Lawrence told me, don't think that you're abandoning them. Just keep the thought in them, knowing that you're going to change their life. And that's what motivated me. Martin was my inspiration. Eddie made me think that my dreams can be reality, but Martin was the one that inspired me. That's why they my OGs. That's why I love them. I love Martin and Eddie and Arsenio on a human level. Even if you wasn't famous, I still mess with you. I love them on a human level. I love you on a human level. On a human level, we got to get to that point. Even if he wasn't a point guard or God, I love him anyway. That's loving somebody on a human level.
What are you laughing at over there?
I was only laughing because he didn't know whether he was a big or a guard, because sometimes he does both. So
True.
That's what I see. I don't know what position he really played because he all over the court. That energy.
Would you say you get paid to fuck
He's
shit
the
up?
old dirty bastard of the Knicks.
100%.
Hold on,
He's the
that's
RZA.
good.
He's the old dirty bastard. He's the RZA.
Yeah.
He got ejected and gobbled. We loved it.
Wait, can we keep going down this line, like other guys on the Knicks and who they are in hip hop? Like if he's ODB and he's RZA, who's Dante? Or like who's Precious?
Dante is the Jizzo.
Okay. What about Mitch?
Precious. Okay, old dirty bastard, RZA, Jizzo. Precious. You don't want to know who Precious is. You want to know who Precious is? The cow. Method. Meth.
I like that.
No, Hardestein is meth. No, Hardestein. You got the RZA, you got the Jizza, you got Precious is Love. Yeah. Who's the light skinned dude? Wu-Tang. Ooh, Precious is Ghost. And I'm friends with all of them. Like when I first started doing comedy, me and Old Dirty Bastard used to hang out together. Get drunk, ride around in the city. I was wild when I first started because I come from the projects. Now I'm Tracy. Now I'm making all this money. And that's how I became diabetic.
I'm about to say, how you deal with that?
I didn't know how to deal with the fame. You gotta know, I didn't know how to deal with the fame. I went to a club with my brother one time and I was like, yo, I got the propeller out. I'm like, why everybody looking at me? He said, listen to me, yo, little brother. You could be a comedian, nobody could be looking at you. You blessed. You famous. You on TV. Then I had to get used to it. If you go on Vice TV and watch my autobiography, it's very accurate. My story isn't a happy one. My father died of AIDS. I dropped out of high school just to take care of him. He still got Rick. I lost mine since I was 19. But he gave me knowledge of self before he left. And that's important. So with knowledge of self, nobody can ever pull a wool over my eyes. I'm 55 years old, man. I was an alcoholic. I'm still an alcoholic. Saturday Night Live turned me into an alcoholic.
What about it? Like,
I don't know if I would drink because the shows were late. The parties even later. It's the hottest party in town. Everybody was at the Saturday Night Live parties, man.